The wonderful world of men, the male subcultures, the really tough guy, masculine He-Man stuff. And as it happens, all these male subcultures share a particular set of features. Homophobia, coupled with an oddly ironic, complete childlike trust in male authority. Men are attracted to powerful men.
Isn't that adorable? Men, well, many men, are attracted to powerful men. Or at least men who seem like they're powerful.
Men gave away their power to other men, princes, kings, wizards, generals, and high priests. They gave it away because they believed what these other men told them. They bought the okey-doke, the bullshit. Men always buy the okey-doke when it comes from other men.
Men are attracted to other men who seem powerful and authoritative, even if it's just BS. Like it is with this guy. The most full of shit person ever, and the perfect example of how the smallest people can seem the biggest. I've got another example for you later, and he might surprise you. Now guys and gals, we've all been fooled by people like Trump. People who exude excessive confidence and command. But people like that aren't what they appear. And we can see through the BS if we know what to look for. The most obvious thing with Trump is how he keeps his appearance up. He's trying to assert himself and show what a big man he is. You might think it's just boldness and bravado, but in the context of everything else, you'll see that it's overcompensation.
Have you seen his hands? They're like this. And you know what they say about men with small hands? You can't trust them.
He said I had small hands. Actually, I'm 6'3", not 6'2", but he said I had small hands. They're not small, are they? I never heard that one before. I've always had people say, Donald, you have the most beautiful hands. Right?
Men must find other ways to feel useful and worthwhile. As a result, they measure themselves by the size of their guns, the size of their cars, the size of their dicks, and the size of their wallets.
And here's the greatest context.
From what she described, Trump's father was also a cruel, sadistic, racist, probably psychopathic man. So growing up with such a person, you learn to either be a victim or you learn to be a victimizer. And Trump, unlike his brother, I gather, Trump became a victimizer. Trump followed in his father's footsteps and became the same sadistic, tyrannical, cruel person that his father was. So it's a kind of response to helplessness. If your choices are you have to be the victim or you have to be the victimizer, you choose the victimizer if you are that sort of person.
Most men learn this stupid shit from their fathers. Don't let me hear you crying or I'll come up there and give you something to cry about. Great stuff, huh? All the problems in the world, repeat, all the problems in the world can be traced to what fathers do to their sons.
And now back to Trump's behavior.
The world is a mess. The world is as angry as it gets. Well, you think this is going to cause a little more anger? The world is an angry place.
That's Trump projecting his anger and weakness into the world. And the bravado is how he fools us into thinking he's bigger than he is. That's what a narcissist does, by the way.
Someone who spends time creating a very grandiose view of themselves. You know, I'm the best in business. I'm sexually the best. All the women want me. And will break the rules, lie, do something unethical for the purpose of that. It certainly makes you think about intense narcissism, right?
That's a pretty decent segue into our other example, Conor McGregor. But let's not spend too much time on him. He's just another perfect example of the bravado and overcompensation culture.
There are 5 deadly male subcultures, and they all overlap. The car and machinery culture, the police and military culture, the outdoors and gun culture, the sports and competition culture, and the drug and alcohol culture. And as a bonus, I'm going to throw in one more. The let's go get some pussy and beat the shit out of queers culture.
So Conor McGregor was at UFC Fight Night 118 watching his buddy Artem Lobov. Lobov got beat, and then after the fight, there's video that surfaced showing Conor McGregor trying to console his friend, and in it, he used the homophobic F word 3 different times to attack Lobov's opponent.
As I say, they all overlap. Many men belong to all 6.
What a perfect little stereotype. And Conor is so emotionally distraught, isn't he?
Testosterone, the most lethal substance on earth.
And remember when Carlin said some men are attracted to powerful men? Do you think it's a coincidence that Conor is a fan of Trump? And have you seen how attracted Trump is to Putin? You know Trump is going to bend over for the guy, right? Conor and Trump. What perfect little stereotypes. Spitting images of what Carlin was talking about. And perfect examples of how the smallest people can seem the biggest. How weak can seem strong.
This is the male disease. It's called being full of shit.
You see it, right? You see through the bravado and see the overcompensation. And you see how many men are simply driven by insecurity.
It's called dick fear. Men are terrified that their pricks are inadequate, and so they have to compete with one another to feel better about themselves.
We've got to be better about spotting these guys. Maybe, so we don't elect and idolize them, right? And so we don't be like them. Actually, strong people don't have to prove it all the time. They just are it. They've dealt with their insecurities and pain, instead of ignoring them and becoming products of them. That, by the way, is the topic of the video I'm about to recommend to you. So, thanks for watching. Be sure to let me know if I pissed you off, or if you liked the vid. Also, this is a new channel with weekly content, and for the video on dealing with pain, click here, or subscribe.